Over 100 years ago, a 12-megaton explosion rocked the remote wilderness of Siberia. No one knows exactly what caused the giant blast. A meteorite? A weapons test? Or perhaps something more secretive? What caused this sudden strange explosion in the middle of nowhere? Let's find out in today's episode of
Colossal Mysteries.
Today's strange event took place on June 30th, 1908, near a small river in eastern Siberia. Seemingly out of nowhere, an absolutely enormous explosion, 1,000 times stronger than an atomic bomb, devastated the cold, quiet landscape. It flattened more than 80 million pine trees across 500,000 acres of surrounding forest. That's an area the size of a large city. Eyewitness accounts describe seeing a large column of blue light, almost as bright as the sun itself, streaking across the sky. Then came an enormous boom. A large fireball lit up the sky as Earth trembled, and strong shockwaves of hot wind rippled. Transportation to the remote region was limited, as was the equipment needed to study the site. So in the first few years after the event, very little research was done. Even still, newspapers in Russia and all around the world speculated about the cause. Some believed the explosion may have been a volcanic eruption. Others insisted it was some sort of meteor. Some believed it may have been some kind of special weapons test. And as always, there were a few who believed it was connected to extraterrestrials or other conspiracies. 13 long years after the event, the Soviets finally sent out a team of scientists and other officials to try and investigate the blast site. Still believing the explosion was caused by a crash meteor, the Soviet team expected to find metals and other minerals you'd normally uncover in a meteor's crater. But that wasn't the case. Despite all the damage done by the blast, it left no crater behind. Instead, scientists found a ring of charred tree trunks still standing, with all of their branches ripped off. Around the ring was another butterfly-shaped area where the trees were burned and knocked completely flat. Experts are still working hard every year to try to prove conclusively what caused the explosion. But until they do, there will be doubters. As you might imagine, such an abnormal event has sprouted many of its own conspiracy theories. Some believe it could be an alien crash site or a satellite that was shot down. Still others think it was some kind of mad science experiment gone wrong. There's been little to no evidence to support any of those theories. And yet, they'll live on until this century-old scientific mystery is finally solved, once and for all. And now you know a little bit more about the unexplained explosion known as the Tunguska event. Want to find out even more about strange sounds? Check out our episode about the horrible Taos hum. Remember to subscribe and check out more mind-bending episodes of
Colossal Mysteries.
only on DreamWorks TV.